Sea Fever by John-Masefield. I must down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky, and all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by, and the wheels kick and the wind's song and the white sails shaking, and a grey mist on the sea's face and a grey dawn breaking. I must down to the seas again, for the call of the running tide is a wild call and a clear call that may not be denied. And all I ask is a windy day with the white clouds flying, and the flung spray and the blown spume and the seagulls crying. I must down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy life, to the gull's way and the whale's way, where the wind's like a whetted knife. And all I ask is a merry yarn from a laughing fellow rover, and quiet sleep, and a sweet dream when the long trick's over. Hello YouTubers. A poem. So why a poem? Well, in the UK, our BBC television providers have a season of poetry programs, and I like poetry. I'm very conscious of the way that poets can use language to describe things and moods in a very constricted way. And one of the programs was of children from the age of 7 to 11 who were kind of in an X Factor situation, whereby they were reading poetry and then went through regional finals and things until they reached the grand final, where a winner would be chosen. And they did it so wonderfully. They could choose some poems of their own, but the set piece was the poem Sea Fever by John-Masefield. It's a very well-known poem, a very short poem, and they did it absolutely wonderful. So I thought I'd look at Sea Fever, and I would do one. Well, when I read the poem, being of my age and a geriatric, I thought that the poem spoke of a lament, really, of a man's desire to go to a place that he was familiar with to end his days. But when I found out that John-Masefield wrote this poem at the age of 24, and that he had, as a boy and a young man, been a seaman, then the whole thing took on a different aspect entirely. And there'll be many other recitations of this poem which will have got it right. But the question that it raises in my mind is, does it matter? I mean, in the world of art, of literature, music and visuals, if the work speaks to you in a certain way, even though that might not have been the intention of the artist, does it matter? So that's my question, really. And whilst I got the meaning of the poem wrong, many of us get the meaning of artworks wrong. And does it matter if from viewing or listening to that work of art that moves you or informs you or excites you? Does the original intent really matter? So that's my question, I suppose. So what do you think? Anyway, see you again very soon, I hope. Until then, goodbye.